Hello and welcome to my art space. My name is Terri Heinz and today I am playing with tissue paper. Specifically, I am creating tissue paper transfers. It's a really fun thing to do and it gives you all kinds of images to use in your artwork. I'll show you how easy it is and a way to do it and save paper at the same time. So let's get started. There are several different ways that you can apply your tissue paper to a backing so that it can go through your printer. Now usually you tape or glue or stitch your tissue paper to heavy cardstock and then it'll go through your machine. But I didn't like wasting paper every time I did that, so I found these transparency films by 3M. I'm sure there's lots of companies that make them. And I found that if I glue the tissue paper to these, I can reuse these over and over and I don't have to waste as much paper. And there's one little hint I want to give you about doing this technique, and that is that if your tissue paper is very thin and the light can pass through it when it's being scanned in your printer, the printer doesn't always know that there is paper there and it will give you an error message. So what I have done is I have taken a plain sheet of copy paper and glued it on the back of my transparency just around the edges and then done the tissue paper on the top and it goes through just fine. So it really depends on what tissue paper you choose to use. Sometimes you don't have to do that and it works just great and sometimes you do. So I'm just going to demonstrate that real quick and we'll move along. All I need to do this project is a glue stick, some scissors, a transparency sheet, an image I would like to transfer onto tissue paper, and some tissue paper. Now I've roughly cut out a piece of tissue paper close to the size of my transparency sheet. And I take my glue stick and I just need to go all around the edges quickly before it dries. Take my tissue paper and just lay it shiny side down and smooth it onto the paper. Then I just flip it over and trim the edges. You just have to be careful not to cut the transparency sheet. Okay, all done with that. And now that I've had this on, just in case this tissue paper is too thin, I'm going to do the exact same thing on the back side. Okay, and I'm going to adhere a piece of plain copy paper. And now I'm going to put it in my printer. I'm going to put it in tissue paper side down because my printer directs us to do that when we're making a print. And put it in tissue paper side down, and then you can get your image from your computer and generate a print, or you can scan it. And I'm just going to lift my printer lid here, put it up in the corner, and I am going to say black and white, because this time I only want it to do black and white. And here it comes. That's a noisy printer, isn't it? There. And there is my sheet music printed on my tissue paper. Now if I get it off right away, it'll peel off nicely and be easier to clean the transparency. Comes off quite easily. And I can leave the copy paper on the back for the next time I do a tissue paper transfer. It's a little bit sticky. If you leave it too long, it gets a little bit harder to get off, but it still comes off quite easily with a little bit of damp paper towel. So there it is. Isn't that wonderful? So easy. And now the cleanup is easy too. I just use a piece of damp paper towel, wipe the edges a bit, and it's ready to go again. It's that simple. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and viewing this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have fun creating your own tissue paper transfers. Bye for now.